Hi guys and welcome back to our channel. Today we'll be analyzing Bitcoin and the Cardano against US dollar. We will try to see where they might move over the next weeks and months, and also we will be verifying our predictions made in September and October. For the current study, I will be analyzing the cycles. Okay, so please subscribe to our channel, like our video, leave a comment, and then if you want to have personalized analysis about stocks, cryptocurrencies, and forex or whatever asset you might interest on, please join our Patreon community. You will find the link in the description field. So today I want to analyze the cycles, so I want to focalize my attention and your attention in the cycle studies. Okay, so I'm using the Magnus cycles and the shaft trend cycle, and also in this case I've personalized the default settings, so we're not using the default settings, but I've changed the parameters this time. And don't want to show, I'm not going to share with you the kind of parameters that I've used, but it's quite intuitive where we are right now. Okay, so what I've analyzed, what I've studied for the Bitcoin is that actually we have experienced in the last cycle 2 years of uptrend and then 1.5 years of downtrend. Okay, so right now, as you can see here, if we project this cycle into the future, into the present right now and then to the future, we are now quite confident that we are still in the ascending phase of the Gauss curve, which means, in other words, that the uptrend movement is still not over yet, which is actually in line with my predictions, which wanted the March and April as at least the beginning of the descending phase. But given the fact that here we have 2 years of uptrend followed by 1.5 years of downtrend, we might even postpone our deadline from April to June. So between March, April and June 2021, if we are holding Bitcoin, if we are holding a gaining position, maybe we want to lock in our profits and start keep a close eye on, in order to close our profits, in order to close our positions, because we might see after June a downtrend movement or the beginning of the descending phase. Okay, now what we see here is that both the Magnus cycles and the shaft trend cycle are actually telling us something extremely important. This is a weekly chart, which means every candle is a weekly one, and which means, in other words, that we are analyzing the medium long-term trend. So the shaft trend cycle actually became positive around 8,000 US dollar. Okay, so when we see the red curve crossing above the lower threshold. Okay, now what we see here actually is that if we analyze the Magnus cycles, is that both the two cycles, so the white curve and the orange one, are oriented upwards. Okay, so if we now analyze what happened in the past when both the two curves of the cycle, so both actually were in the ascending phase of the Gauss curve, what happened? Well, we've seen that actually both the shaft trend cycle and the cross between the white cycle and the orange one, at the time Bitcoin was worthy around 300 US dollar, and then actually when the white cycle crossed below the orange one, Bitcoin was worthy 70,000 US dollar, while with the shaft trend cycle we've seen 11,000 US dollar. That means a huge gain using the two cycles changed based on my parameters. Then if you want to know what kind of parameters I've used for the two cycles, then again you might want to join our Patreon community, and you will have the chance to chat directly with me, and also will be providing the trading signals based on my personalized indicators that are not shown here. Okay, so right now we are in the ascending phase of the Gauss curve. That is quite clear, because as you can see here, if we project the Gauss curve, we see that both the two curves are now positive, which means the derivative is above the zero. Okay, now I've been stating several times that we should not be worried until Bitcoin will be moving above 12k, okay, 12,000, because it's quite evident that we might move over 12,000, so we might retest the 12,000 US dollar threshold. It's quite clear, because if we analyze the time that Bitcoin crossed above the upper envelope, we see that every time actually Bitcoin has gone to retest the upper envelope. It happened here, and almost here. And the last phase, when actually the chart becomes vertical, because of the physics that is underlying Bitcoin, okay, because it's getting vertical, then immediately we don't have an immediate test of the upper band, but then as you can see here, we are going back to the upper band. Okay, so again, let's not be fooled out if we see Bitcoin retesting 12,000 US dollar, because it will be quite a natural movement, which is actually not complicating our analysis, but it's just I definitely define a retrace till 12,000 as a normal healthy retrace. Okay, so let's not be too worried if we are going to see Bitcoin retesting 12,000. Then if we go below 12,000, then it means that in this case we have a shortcut of the cycle, and then we have to reevaluate our analysis, because probably we're going to see a descending phase for Bitcoin. Okay, but till there, if we're not hitting or if we're not going below, to be more precise, 12k, then we are quite confident that we are still inside, okay, the 2 years up cycle. Okay, so what we see here is a 3.5 years cycle, so 2 years of ascending phase and 1.5 years more or less of descending phase. Okay, so again, what we see here is that actually once the Bitcoin, or the asset, or the price has crossed above the upper envelope, then we have experienced a movement downwards. Okay, so right now it will be quite natural if we see a movement retesting the 12k US dollar area. Okay, yet 24,000 is still my very first target for Bitcoin. Now let's move on and let's analyze Cardano. Okay, using the same kind of criteria, so analyzing the cycles. Here we are just going to analyze not the weekly but the daily chart, so we will have a medium term analysis rather than a long term. If you want to have a long term analysis, if you want to receive a long term analysis for Cardano, you need to contact me directly or to join our Patreon community. Okay, so what we see here is actually that both a shaft trend cycle and the Magnus cycles are in this case oriented upwards. Now, to be precise, the shaft trend cycle went up, gave the actually the signal at 0.10 US dollar, roughly 0.11 probably. Okay, again, even in this case, I've changed the parameters in order to better understand the underlying cycle which is ruling Cardano. Okay, now what we see here is that the white curve has crossed above the orange one, and now the derivative is positive, while the orange one is still horizontal. Okay, so we want to see both the two curves oriented upwards. Okay, and of course the shaft trend cycle is giving us a clear idea that we are inside a medium-term uptrend. So what happens in the past when both the two cycles or both the two indicators were aligned? Okay, so what we see here, first, okay, for the shaft trend cycle, the red one, red curve crossing above the lower band here, and here we have the cross of the two cycles. Okay, so here we know that actually we should be inside the ascending phase of the Gauss curve. So at the time, Cardano was worth 0.04. Now let's see what happened where Cardano went out from the position, okay, using the cycles, actually around here. So the shaft trend cycle gave the signal at 0.13, and here actually it was around 0.14. So we went from 0.04, if I'm not wrong, okay, yes, till 0.14, which is an amazing result. Okay, so all 400%, 4 times. Okay, so now let's switch to the weekly chart for Cardano, not using the cycles. What we see here is a huge increase in terms of volumes, a spike in volumes. This is a point of control, which means that we're going to skyrocket till at least 0.40 US dollar. As always quite clear ideas. These volumes are telling us more than any other indicator can tell us. Okay, so what we have understood right now is that in terms of cycles, we are in the upside phase, in the up phase of the cycle. Also, we see an increase in terms of volume. So 0.40 US dollars seems to be the natural outcome for me. Thank you, guys.